Yeah, I mean, it takes one person to make it cool, right? So it takes one person to make it not cool, and that's probably Limp Bizkit.
Herzlich willkommen. Draußen sind es gefühlte 35 Grad. Ich rede nicht viel. Ich begrüße Matt from Ashes to New in unserem Interview. Matt, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
Yeah, it's pretty hot in here, but you see, I'm sweating. But yeah, it's nice that we can talk about your upcoming album, Panic.
Yeah, man. Hey, I just want to say I'm fascinated by the German language. Like hearing you speak in German, it's like a lot of my ancestors are apparently from Germany. I'm like, man, they should have taught me a little German and know a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know any though. I know Guten Tag. That's what I know.
That's a good start. So okay, we could do something like a YouTube series, Matt learning German with MoreCore.
That'd be cool, man. That'd be cool.
Let's try it. Matt, congratulations to your new album, Panic.
Thank you.
It will be released on August 28th, and It is your third long player, and actually the second one you wrote with your current lineup. How was the approach of the work process? Let's change the question. Did your approach was kind of different from the future?
Well, I think that we've been together as, this particular band, this lineup for enough time now to where we have, we're more comfortable in a studio setting. So we knew what the common goal was coming into it. We knew what we wanted the sound to be like. We knew what we wanted to write about. We really kind of had everything put together before we started the process. The last album, The Future, we had gone through a member change. We didn't have a lot of time to acclimate Danny into the band. Yeah. It was kind of throw Danny into the fire and, write a record. This time we were able to really set it up and go after what we wanted to go after, and we accomplished that and then some.
Mm-hmm. So you would say that this record is way more planned and fine-tuned, like there was more time for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, when you're in the writing process, if you're just writing songs, of course, everything's going to come out naturally that you want it to, but you don't really have like a set structure as the way that you want to do it. And this, we were able to actually go, okay, we want it to sound nostalgic. We want it to have, this sound that we love. We want it to be able to showcase Danny's talent on a way that we weren't able to showcase Danny's talent on the last record, because again, we just threw him right in the fire. So there's a lot of stuff that we were able to be aware of before we started the process.
I get it. You've chosen Colin Britton as a producer for the album. He also worked with Papa Roach or All Time Low, for example. He also did Nowhere to Run on your previous record, The Future. What was the reason for choosing him, and how was the whole process? For me, just let me explain my question. Like, I had the feeling, you also mentioned the nostalgic feeling. I had the feeling like in the beginning of the 2000s or end of the 90s, there was something like you had two or three different producers, Ross Robinson, Rick Rubin, etc., who made so many iconic records, and you had the feeling that they had a big impact on the sound the bands we all love have written. So what was the reason for you choosing Colin Britton?
I mean, obviously they had a huge impact, right?
Yeah. Really huge.
I'm a 90s kid. So coming up through the early 2000s was when I was listening to metal music. That's when
same for me.
I still listen to it, but I'm saying that. Yeah, same as like you were saying, like influential to most of the people that were listening, with the exception of some of the older bands that are out there. Most of the newer stuff, like From Ashes to New and Bring Me the Horizon and I Prevail and stuff like that. Like you can clearly see that the influence is from that era. Yeah. And I mean, that's the era that got me into rock and metal. I listened to rap before that. So we just wanted to kind of pay homage to that era with what we're doing now, but at the same time to show, like, the new metal nu metal. I mean, I know it has a stigma attached to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's be honest. Everyone's putting rap in their rock nowadays. You know, so you know we're just grateful that we were at the front of that trend coming back.
Yeah. So you would recognize this as a trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's rapping it. You know, when we first started doing it 7 years ago now, which time flies, it's ridiculous. Yeah. The only other group that was doing it was Hollywood Undead.
Yeah.
And obviously Linkin Park, but Linkin Park had already kind of gone away from it. They were doing something completely different.
Yeah.
So really Hollywood Undead was really the only one doing it. And I love that style of music. Like that is the style of music that got me out of rap, 100% out of rap, and made my musical taste more diverse. So, you know, I was kind of sad, honestly, that there wasn't enough of it. Yeah. I was like, man, there needs to be more of this. This music's amazing, you know? So I decided that I was going to start writing it.
Yeah.
And one thing led to the next, and now I'm sitting here talking to you.
That's funny. Like you mentioned the stigma, because I also had the feeling that I would say 5 to 10 years when you mentioned nu metal, everyone was just, oh, come on. No. Please go away. And
anything.
And then there was very, very, I don't know, it's like, it came from the back, and everyone was listening to nu metal again. And so many bands appeared, combined the rap and the trap sounds, and etc. with metal guitars coming from post-hardcore or metalcore, coming from alternative rock or whatever. And so this whole new crossover nu metal thing became huge. And right now I get the feeling like there's the next big thing coming.
Yeah, I mean, it takes one person to make it cool, right? You know, so it takes one person to make it not cool, and that's probably Limp Bizkit. And then it takes one person to make it cool again, you know? So
who was this one person?
What's that?
Who was the one person?
To do it, to make it cool again?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd love to say it's us.
Cool for me?
But I mean, you know, Bring Me the Horizon's basically rapping on Parasite Eve.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, it's just kind of, you know, you see Fall in Reverse do it with Popular Monster, and that song took off.
Yeah.
So, all I got to say is Linkin Park wasn't the first of their generation to do it, and you know, maybe we won't be the first of our generation to do it, but I will say that we've been doing it since, like I said, 7 years ago, and we've never cared about any stigmas. We just do what we want, we do what we love.
That's cool.
Yeah. And we don't follow trends, you know. For us, it's not to follow a trend. It's just to either create one or just continue doing what you love, regardless if it's trendy or not.
Exactly. I think that's the big difference when you can recognize a band for doing their thing, like they love what they're doing and they're doing it good. So, and I think the fans will also see this and feel this, and there as well. Of course, there are some bands who are just riding the trend. So come on, that's a trend. Let's switch it. Let's switch it up. Let's put in some electronics. I don't know, 5 years or 10 years before. Let's put some rap in it. Might work. But I think that you mentioned it. Like you're doing it like for 7 years. And I remember when I was hearing the first From Ashes to New track, it was just, oh, come on, that's totally this nostalgic thing. So congratulations to you. Like you just wrote 3 records, and I think it's growing pretty good for you. The whole fan base is growing, and your band is very well known right now.
It's starting to really blow up, man. You know, you're really starting to see a lot of fans pour in from all over the world too. Like Germany is one of our biggest markets now, you know, and you know, America has always been our biggest market, but Germany, I think in most aspects is a close second. You got United Kingdom, Germany, Canada, Australia, and Brazil has come up. Brazil's like in our top 5 now. So
amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's blown up all over the world. You know, we're super grateful for what's happening. And like you said, you know, people can see when it's genuine and when it's not. And I always kind of I've always been a sports guy. So I always take what I do and I compare it to sports. And if you play baseball, you know, and you go up, and I played baseball for many, many years. If you go up and you swing for what they call swing for the fences to try and hit a home run, you're probably going to strike out. But if you go up and you just swing to make contact and you swing to hit the ball, I mean, you may just hit that home run. So that's what we've been doing. We just go out. We don't swing for the fences. We do what's natural to us. We swing for contact, and we feel like with this new record, we have our home run. Cool.
I think that you might be right with the home run, and I hope so. So let's talk about a little bit more about your record. I said it before. 28th of August is the release date. It's called Panic. Like also your first single was called Panic, and you released the video with a statement in front of like the record was, or the song was planned for. Let me think about talking about general anxiety, but there was Corona.
Yeah. I think that all over the world, everyone felt that one and is still feeling that one.
Yeah.
So the song was written. I've for years had notorious anxiety problems, and I don't have a problem talking about it because I'm clearly not the only person in the world that has these issues.
Yeah.
Which is strange because when I was a kid, I didn't have any anxiety problems. It wasn't until we had to go through the member change that I started getting anxiety problems. It was almost like a PTSD for me. It was it would creep up and it would attack me. It was like in the lyrics to the song, it was like a dark cloud over my head or a shadow that just followed me around everywhere. So my best way to deal with things is to write about them. Like it's cathartic for me to write about the things that I'm dealing with in life. And it's amazing because there are so many millions of other people out there that are dealing with the same stuff that when they listen to the song, they feel like they're not alone. And there's a lot of bands that have been able to do that for me. There's a lot of artists that have been able to do that for me throughout my life. Linkin Park was one of them. Eminem was one of them. There's a lot of different, awesome stuff that came through music that helped shape who I am as a person. So I'm very grateful that I'm able to do that. Now, the anxiety that we wrote about just happened to become part of really the entire world's life with the coronavirus. And it attempted to shut down our whole year. I know it's shutting down most people's whole year. The entertainment industry shut down. But for us, it attempted to stop our record, but it attempted to stop the music video. Pretty much everything that we were doing was kind of really not looking so good because of the coronavirus. But, again, I look at sports when I look at life and I go, well, what would a boxer do if he's just getting beat down and he's on the ropes?
Stand up.
He would get up and he would make moves and he would do his best to get away from those punches and roll with them and win the fight. And, that's what From Ashes to New does. And that's what From Ashes to New signifies going from the ashes to create something new. So it's going to take a little bit more than a coronavirus to stop me.
That's a very cool message. And from this moment, I now understand the band name. So thank you for the explanation.
Yeah, man. No worries.
Would you? I mean, it's. I don't know if it's a stupid question or not, but would you say that Panic became something like a Corona soundtrack for you as a band?
Yeah, I've seen people calling it Corona-core. Wow. They're like, From Ashes to New is a Corona-core band. And I think that's a lot of people who don't understand what the backstory is.
Sure. I mean, the song is written way before everything, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a 2020 anthem. So we'll say that. I will say this, the masks, they were actually designed before any of this hit. Our crew and our guitarist, who kind of looks like a ninja, they always wear those. They've been wearing them for years. Yeah. When we went to Japan in 2016, we noticed in Japan, a lot of people wear masks. Yeah. If they're not feeling well, they wear them. Yeah. It's normal for them over there to do that. And our guitarist is really into anime. So he kind of put that together, and he had this idea that we would do something that's called Become the Show.
Yeah.
And it would be, you buy a mask, you buy a pair of glasses, you come in the door, and you become the show when we're playing live. And that was the idea for the masks. And then the next thing you know, everyone's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And, you know, in a way it was good, but in a way it was also bad because we had such an original, awesome idea that just turned into culture across the world. So, you know, if we would have been a little bit ahead of the game, you know, if the album would have came out in 2019 instead of 2020, then we probably would have been way ahead of the curve with the whole mask and glasses thing.
Yeah. But actually, I think it's still good that everyone is wearing a mask. But well, I understand the problem here. So
yeah, we had it was this great original idea on our end, and then when we released the idea, it's like, oh, okay, they're wearing masks, and it's like, you know, we have to do a little bit of you know, education to the fans and say, hey, you know, this was the idea, and the hardcore fans, they know, they've seen them at shows, they've seen our crew wearing these masks. If you go and you look at our front of house engineer, you'll see pictures dating back to 2 years ago where he's wearing that while he's working at front of house. So, you know, just ahead of the curve, man, but then the curve caught up. Now we got to slow the curve so we can get back to work.
Yeah. The interesting thing is, if you will you wear a mask after the whole thing? So
no.
So I think this whole.
I won't.
I don't think so. No.
No.
You mentioned.
I don't have a purpose for it.
Sorry?
I don't have a purpose for it.
Yeah.
I feel all right about how my face looks.
Yeah, you're looking pretty good.
Thanks, man.
Just from man to man, you're looking good.
Thanks, man. I just woke up. That's why I'm sipping on this coffee.
But I think it's a good coffee. So.
Oh, it's strong.
That's
catching up quick.
With milk or without?
Cream.
Oh.
So I do like a non-dairy creamer. You ever hear of Coffee Mate?
No.
Okay, it's a brand that we have. It's just a regular cream flavor, no dairy.
Okay, cool. So very, very cool. I would also drink a coffee right now. It would be pretty fine. But it's well. But I think I want the iced coffee because it's too hot here. We talked about panic, and you mentioned that you wrote the song for you, like dealing with with anxiety. And which song of your new record would you describe as your most personal, and why?
Ooh, they're all really personal. Panic, it's pretty personal.
Yeah.
Man, let me look at my track listing. You know, sometimes it's like you try and remember the book and you just can't, and then you open it and you're like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I know this.
Yeah, let me just, I got the track list right in front of me here. Let's see here. Most personal. Wow, they're all really personal. I'm gonna go with Change My Past.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that song, you know, it's a very rap heavy song.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a lot of content, the lyrics are real deep. And it's just talking about how, you know, you try and run from the person that you used to be, regardless if that person is good or bad. Mm-hmm. Like you're trying to run away from it and become something that you're not usually. It's like you're always trying to chase this facade that you never seem to obtain.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people do throughout life. Like we just try and chase something that we're not instead of just being who we are. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I guess that song is kind of like a battle between your past and like who has made me become. And, you know, will I ever get away from it keeping up with me and catching up with me? Mm-hmm. So, you know, that song, if you listen to the lyrics, it really kind of illustrates exactly how I felt in those moments of my past feeling like it's coming back to haunt me.
Mm. If you could change something from your past as a band, what would it be?
Nothing.
Amazing answer. Very good. The best thing you could say. So let's just stick to the tracks. If you're still looking on it, which song of the album would go down best live as soon as it's possible? What do you think?
Nothing. I say nothing and people get confused. They're like, nothing.
Yeah, that was my first shit. What? How nothing? Okay, that's a song, Nothing, of course. Yeah,
it's a song title. It's called Nothing. That song's just so high energy, and we've actually played it live already.
Yeah.
We played it on our previous tour, so that's how long that we've had this material. We did that tour starting in February, and we played Nothing on that tour with Skillet. Cool. It was incredible. It's so much energy. The last show, we had like 20 kids up on stage just jumping and, dancing around, losing their minds. So it's just a fun song, high energy, really fun to perform.
So you started your tour in February, and then you need to change everything, like everything was stopped at the moment. What are the things you're doing right now? What are the things you're planning to do in the next, 6 to 12 months? What are your plans?
I don't know.
Writing some more cover songs?
Yeah, we've got a couple.
Yeah.
That we've been working on. Doing some acoustic stuff, something a little different than what we normally do. Writing new original stuff. Even though we're just releasing a record, doesn't mean we stop writing.
Yeah.
Working on getting some features to remix some of the stuff that we have. And just, keeping up with the fans and working as much digitally as we can until we get the green light to go back out and start playing shows.
Yeah. We also need to do the German course.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, man. I need to come back. I love it over there. I love kebab. I love it, man.
Yeah, I love it too.
I miss it. You can't get that here in America. You can't get that like real Turkish kebab here. It doesn't happen.
The best kebab is in Cologne. Really, the best kebab is in Cologne.
I don't remember. I was in Cologne, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you've been in Cologne, but I'm not sure if you've been to this kebab. It's, damn it, I forgot the name. It's Kebabland. It's really the best one.
I may have had it. I don't. Yeah. I know that I was in Cologne.
Yeah.
And I know that I had kebab.
Yeah. And this one is the best, Kebabland. It's not like the meat from this whole big bomb, but it's it's on a how is it called when it's put it on the
on a skewer?
Might be, but I'm not sure. Kebabland. Remember Kebabland, and you will love me then when you've been when you're to Germany the next time.
Wait, are you talking about like the kebab on a stick? Like they
yeah,
poke it
exactly
through?
On a stick.
Yeah, but that's called. We have that here. That's called shish kebab.
Yeah, okay, you could call it shish kebab, but the best kebab you get is in Kebabland in Cologne, and it's actually a shish kebab then. Yeah.
See, I love the one that's like a what we call a gyro. The one
we would call it döner kebab.
Döner kebab.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Two more things. The first thing, you mentioned that you listened to a lot of rap artists. So I think you're still listening to a lot of rap artists. Name me 2 or 3 you're listening right now, or which would you definitely recommend to our audience? Or
NF, Hobson, Joyner Lucas.
Okay, cool. I actually don't know any one of them. I think I don't just know one of them.
Which one do you know?
NF, but I've never heard of
it. He blew up, man. That dude's so talented.
Yeah.
So talented.
Funny, because I never heard of the rest of them. The last thing, which we just need to do, is we got free signed CDs, which we will give to the audience. So I'll need to say it in German. Sorry for that. Unter allen Kommentaren hier unter diesem Video könnt ihr jetzt 3 CDs gewinnen. 3 neue CDs, Panic. Sie werden natürlich verschickt, wenn das Album veröffentlicht wurde. Wir werden euch in der Folge im September, wahrscheinlich, lass mich kurz überlegen, in der ersten September-Folge der MoreCore TV Show dann auch informieren, wer gewinnt. Viel Erfolg. Jeweils eine CD, 3 insgesamt für das neue Album Panic von From Ashes to New, was am 28. Oktober erscheint. Könnt ihr gewinnen. Kommentiert einfach was drunter. Was ist uns egal. Wir freuen uns. Yeah, Matt, thank you very much.
You know what's great is you could be sitting there that whole time going, yeah, this guy's a complete asshole. What a train wreck this interview was. And I'd just be shaking my head and smiling like, yeah, that was great. Because I have no idea what you're saying. So
actually, no, this wouldn't work. Like there are still some labels and PR agencies and so on, which might watch this interview and then say, fuck this guy. So actually, I hope.
What did he just say?
I hope we'll have another chance to talk in the future, perhaps when you're back to Germany, and yeah, we can try some kebabs then.
Yeah, man, let's go to Cologne.
Definitely, it's not far from here. It's just less than an hour drive. So yeah,
let's do it.
Let's meet up in Cologne the next time. Matt, thank you very much. I wish you all the best for the new record. Highest possible chart position in every country from Brazil to the US to Germany. Thank you very much, Matt. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too, man. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Das war's. Vielen lieben Dank. Kommentiert rein, wenn ihr das Album gewonnen wollt. Wenn ihr Panic gewinnen wollt. 3-mal signiert. Viel Spaß. Bye-bye.